Today we're taking a look at these college football matches, which are happening on Thursday, December 22, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. Also, check out our perks and join the High Stakes membership. Joining the High Stakes membership is easy, is cheap, but it will help a lot in the growth process of this channel. Plus check out our Patreon in the link down below if you want access for our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. Make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. Air Force vs Baylor. Air Force was not far away from a perfect season, as none of its 3 losses came by more than a touchdown. The Falcons led the FBS in rushing, averaging 330.9 yards per game, and they have the nation's 3rd leading rusher in fullback Brad Roberts. He racked up 1,612 rushing yards this season, going over 100 yards on 10 occasions. Roberts was particularly hot down the stretch, posting at least 160 rushing yards in wins over New Mexico, Colorado State and San Diego State to close the regular season. Air Force relied heavily on his success, going 9-1 in his 10 games with 100-plus rushing yards. Wyoming and Boise State were the only teams to hold him under the century mark. Baylor is dealing with a coaching change coming into this matchup, as head coach Dave Aranda fired defensive coordinator Ron Roberts following a 6-6 regular season. Aranda earned this head coaching gig after leading LSU's defense during the 15-0 national title season in 2019. Baylor got off to a decent start this season, going 6-3 in its first 9 games, with the losses coming to then number 21 BYU, then number 9 Oklahoma State and West Virginia. The Bears won 3 straight games in late October-early November, beating Kansas, Texas Tech and Oklahoma. They struggled down the stretch though, falling to then number 19 Kansas State, then number 4 TCU, and then number 23 Texas. The Bears gave up at least 29 points in their final 4 games of the regular season, leading to Roberts' firing. This is their 2nd straight bowl appearance, and they are seeking their 5th win in 6 bowl appearances, following their 21-7 Sugar Bowl victory over Ole Miss last year. Baylor averaged 39.3 points per game during their mid-season winning streak, but it averaged just 19.3 points per game in its final 3 games. Sophomore quarterback Blake Shapen suffered a head injury in a loss to West Virginia in Week 7. He struggled after that, throwing 5 touchdowns and 7 interceptions in his following 7 games. Running back Quillen Jones has 3 touchdowns in his last 5 games, while Richard Reese has 7 touchdowns in his last 6 games. Reese leads the team with 962 rushing yards, but he averaged 54.7 yards during the 3-game skid. Baylor opened as an 8.5-point favorite, but the betting action has driven the line all the way down to -4. I like Air Force to win outright in this game, so there is still plenty of value to be had at the current price. The Falcons have been excellent on both sides of the ball, entering bowl season as one of the top defensive teams in the country and the number 1 rushing team. They are facing a Baylor defense that was so bad that its defensive coordinator got fired in a desperation move from Aranda. Air Force is going to do what it normally does, which is control the tempo with long scoring drives and get quick stops with a rested defense. Our first pick is Air Force plus 4 points. Baylor wasn't able to repeat as the Big 12 champion, and it lost its last 3 games, but it was an entertaining season with lots of offense, a decent defense, and enough on both sides to come this close to beating TCU. But that's the problem. Beating Oklahoma and Texas Tech was good, but it couldn't come through in several close losses. Beating Air Force wouldn't make up for the misfires, but getting this done and finishing with a winning season would be nice. Air Force was rolling along with a 4-1 start, and it closed with 4 straight wins. In between, it lost 2 of 3 games to keep it out of the Mountain West title hunt. Even so, it was a terrific season as it went full Air Force. It led the nation in rushing, time of possession, and in total defense. It's got the ability to take down the Big 12 team and come up with a 10-win season. For years Air Force was a sure thing Bowl 50, going 4-10 from 1987 to 2009. Troy Calhoun was responsible for 2 of the losses, and then he and the Falcons kicked it in going 6-3 in the last 9 bowls. Win this, and it'll be 4 straight bowl victories and 5 10-win seasons since 2014. Last year the Falcons beat Louisville 31-28 in the first responder. Baylor has been great at this bowl thing, too. It won 4 of the last 5 going back to the end of the Art Briles era in 2015, and Dave Aranda won in his first try in last year's Sugar Bowl over Ole Miss. Around since 2003, the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl always seems to deliver. The matchups might not always be the sexiest on the board, but in the 19 games, 10 have been close. Last year's Army win over Missouri was thrilling. The late Mike Leach's Mississippi State team's win over Tulsa was, let's just say, intense at the end, and in 2018, Army cranked up 70 in a win over Houston. This should be entertaining, too. The Air Force Falcons are 5-3 in the Mountain West Conference, and with this so-so showing, they are one of the explosive teams on the ground. Their wrap-up wins against Army and Navy landed them the Commander-in-Chief's trophy, the most wins of the trophy of any service academy. The Falcons have the country's top rushing offense at 331 yards per game and lead the nation in time of possession offensively. The Falcons all but ignore the air attack, throwing the ball in nearly 90% of their plays. The key to rushing is Brad Roberts, who rushed 308 times this season for 1,612 yards and 15 touchdowns. The Falcons can back up their offense with the #1 passing defense in Division I, which limit opponents to 146 yards per game. Air Force controls this game as technicians of the clock. The Falcons are top-ranked in time of possession and will manage Baylor as they see fit. Defensively, the Falcons are phenomenal on both pass rush D and air ball D, and this will limit the score on the Baylor side. The 44th-ranked Baylor pass rush will put a bit of a damper on Brad Roberts, but it will make no difference in the win-loss column, but will lower the points scored. The trends are in the controlling team's favor. The total has gone under in 5 of Air Force's last 6 games. Take the under, because while nothing can stop the US Air Force, you can limit their scoring just a little. Our second pick is under 43 points.